It's the morning weather briefing. This is for Wednesday, the 25th of June. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather will be hot and humid for the next several days. Heat levels come down a little bit by the time the weekend gets here. And next week, many days we'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s, which will be nice. Here's the upper air look. And again, these maps typically tell the better story this time of the year. There's a large-scale upper high over the eastern half of the country. That's the reason for the heat over the east and a trough back in the western states. And that upper high should gradually weaken after today. And with that, we'll see slightly lower heat levels and higher coverage of afternoon showers and thunderstorms by the time the weekend gets here. This morning, there's the radar composite around the nation. Things are quiet here. Got a few thunderstorms out across parts of the Corn Belt, the nation's midsection. It's a warm, muggy summer morning. We've got 70s on the board. We're expecting highs in most spots back in the mid-90s today. And like yesterday, there is a heat advisory in effect for parts of the state. And understand, like I've been saying here, if you're in South Alabama, there's no heat advisory, but trust me, you will be hot and humid. This is a Weather Service criteria type thing. This is where the heat index might touch 105 today. For the northern two-thirds of the state. But again, if you're in Mobile or Dothan, trust me, it will be hot there as well. And we have heat advisories from Mississippi and Arkansas back up into the parts of the mid-Atlantic coast region today. Here's the severe weather outlook for today and tonight. We got a risk from the Central Plains to the Atlantic coast, and down here, we have a risk of severe storms defined for this afternoon. In Alabama, there is a level 2 out of 5 risk. South and east of a line from near Talladega down to Clanton and Bay Minette. Areas in yellow on that map. We have a level 1 out of 5 risk as far north as Huntsville and Reform. And I want to stress here, when you look at this map, that doesn't mean it's going to rain everywhere. It will not. In fact, I would suggest most places will see no rain today. However, where the storms do form this afternoon, the instability value should be very high, and the storms could produce, in some cases, strong straight-line winds. Wet microburst. That's the main concern here. And really the same thing tomorrow. The whole state, all 67 counties in a level 1 out of 5, marginal risk of severe storms. And again, that's for the potential for strong straight-line winds. There's the national outlook tomorrow. We have the risks across the southeast, parts of the upper Midwest, and parts of Montana. And then on day 3, which is Friday, got a risk of severe storms for parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Nebraska. And again, down here, we have a level 1 out of 5, marginal risk of severe storms for the eastern half of Alabama. Same thing, scattered storms Friday afternoon. Where they do form, they could be strong. But I think you could pretty much say that almost every summer day. Here's a look at rain for the next 7 days, valid through Wednesday morning of next week. For the northern half of the state, rain amounts 1 to 1.5 inches. South Alabama, the amounts 2 to 2.5 inches. So in the tropics, it's just quiet. Atlantic basin, calm as could be. And again, the Hurricane Center gave that little feature in the middle of nowhere a name very briefly. For a few hours, it was Tropical Storm Andrea. But it's already dissipated. It's off the board. So that was a total junk system, kind of a waste of a name, but again, it's off the board, and you can see things are very calm. No tropical storms, no hurricanes for at least the next 7 days across the Atlantic basin. So model fans, here we go. GFS, this is the 06Z run, valid today at 4. And obviously the ridge is in place. The height's a little lower today, but still, that'll get us up in the middle 90s this afternoon. Here's the high-resolution HUR, and this is why we're saying, for most of you, it will not rain today. But for some of you, there could be a storm, and the HUR is not bullish at all on development today, showing nothing more than a few isolated storms over South Alabama. But again, where the storms do form, we'll see surface-based Cape values over 3,000 joules today, which is fairly common for a summer day, but with extreme instability, the storms that do form could be relatively strong. Pretty much the same thing tomorrow, highs low to mid-90s. We'll take a look at the high-resolution HUR. And it shows the storms becoming a little more numerous tomorrow. That's 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. And, of course, the radar will not look exactly like that, but something like that. And, again, high should be in the low to mid-90s. This is Friday, same thing. Highs close to 90, the chance of scattered afternoon storms, and that's the story for the weekend. This is Saturday, and this is Sunday. If you like the numbers game, the chance of any one spot seeing an afternoon storm Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 50 to 60%. Most of the storms coming between roughly 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. And again, highs for the weekend, upper 80s, low 90s. And next week, it's just good old summertime weather. This is Monday and this is Tuesday. We'll have scattered storms around each afternoon. And this is a week from today. And again, these maps tell a better story. This is the upper air look. This is Wednesday, the 2nd of July. And notice how the ridge over the east is gone. In fact, a pretty good trough is coming through the northeast United States. And the ridge is kind of shifted back to the west. And with the ridge much, much weaker, that will open the door for an increase in the number of showers and thunderstorms by the middle of next week in the afternoon hours. And heat levels coming down. In fact, the national blend of models showing a high of 86, which is below average for Wednesday of next week. Let's keep going. This is 10 days out. This is Friday, the 4th of July, Independence Day. Little shortwave trough just east of here. And again, typical summertime weather. I'd say the high for most spots in the upper 80s, morning sunshine, a few scattered showers and storms by afternoon. Rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean is up there between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 10th of July. Temperatures coming off the NBM National Blend of Models. Mid-90s today and tomorrow. Then highs close to 90 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And again, by the middle of next week on Wednesday, the high dropping to 86. It's not bad for a July day here. And the latest long-range guidance. This is for July 2nd through July 8th. Temperatures a little above average if this works out. So this was the radar yesterday coming out of Columbia, South Carolina, around 4:30 Eastern Time. And that's a very routine, random, scattered afternoon storm. We see those across the Deep South almost every summer day, and most people wouldn't think much about that. And it's certainly not severe by classic definition. There's no damaging wind. There's no large hail. But remember what happens with every summer storm? They produce huge amounts of lightning, even the routine-looking storms like that. And that one isolated storm produced a lightning strike that hit 18 people, 18, 6 adults and 12 children. This was at Lake Murray in Lexington, South Carolina, which is west of Columbia. And again, apparently we had no loss of life, and we're very fortunate in this case, but it's just another reminder that when thunder roars, you've got to go indoors. And again, to my knowledge, we had no loss of life, and I think we had no life-threatening injuries there, but 18 people, one lightning strike. Wow. And again, here's one of our summer towers yesterday, and they're really photogenic. They're just gorgeous from a distance. Some of these summer towers can be 50, 60,000 feet tall, but the lightning counts can be so high on a hot summer day. Pretty good-looking sunset last night across the Deep South. Here's a look at the sun going down over the city of Birmingham. Mobile Bay looking good last night, and the beaches looking good. And if you're beach-bound, everything looks pretty good. I'd say about the 7 to 9 hours of sun each day. And understand, of course, from time to time, you'll have a passing shower or storm. That's just life on the Gulf Coast in the summer. So today I will be in Leeds doing a program for the library there, their summer program. I had a great time yesterday, by the way, down in Marion. The Leeds program this morning will be at 9 o'clock, and it will be over on Thornton Avenue instead of the library downtown Leeds. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Alexander City, First Baptist Church, for their summer program there. Then I'll be speaking to the employees of the city of Gardendale at a luncheon, and then I will be at Bumpus Middle School for Camp Legacy, which is a program put on by the Hoover Police. Friday going to be in Helena, Riverside Summer Camp at Riverside Baptist Church, and then I will be at Thompson High School in Alabaster for a summer program there with Camp Journey. So a busy week ahead. Don't forget to watch us this evening on ABC 3340 News. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a marvelous Wednesday, and God bless.